All right, so this is Kenny Santos out of Toronto, Canada for KennySantos.com. Do you want to know how to, basically get more sales and signups, especially during these times? We've been in the lockdown now. We've been in 2020, for 11 months, and we've been in the lockdown for, I don't know, 8 months maybe. And a lot of people, there's a big spectrum of people, network marketers in particular, that are getting a lot of sales, but then there's some that are getting none. And this spectrum, like, the ones that were getting a lot of sales before, they're getting even more sales now. And the ones that were getting less sales before, they're getting even less now. And now is the time to really focus on getting more sales and signups, because this is kind of like a make or break time for many people's network marketing career. Actually, for many people that time has passed, they've already quit. But if you're still in the business but you want to get more sales and signups, and you feel like you're struggling, and you think, well, the pandemic and the lockdown are the reason, and they're part of the reason, but the main reason is it's your attitude, and basically your way of thinking. And there's two simple tips that will help you just get a lot more sales and get a lot more signups during these times. And so before we get into that, what I invite you to do is this: I invite you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. It is an easy way and a simple way for you to support my blog and to support my channel. You can do it for free. So how do you get more sales and signups, especially during this lockdown time, during the pandemic? And when you learn these skills, even when this passes, even when there's a vaccine and people are back out in the workforce, these techniques will still work. So, and they've worked before. This is just a time to really ramp it up. And so the first thing you've got to do is simple, and it's something that you've heard many times before, and it's just to talk to more people. The more people you talk to, the more sales you're going to get. The same thing goes that if you were going to play basketball, the more shots that you take, the more goals or field goals you're going to get. Not goals, but they're called field goals, right? The more baskets you're going to get. So you got to talk to more people. And the most of the reason, or the main reason why people don't get to talk to a lot of people, is simply because, one, well, there's that main, they keep procrastinating. There's one. But if you are working every day and you feel like you're working, but your wheels are spinning and you're stuck in a rut, perhaps the reason is reason number two, is that you're trying to convince people. You're trying to convince people why they need a home-based business, or you're trying to convince people why your product or service is so incredibly amazing, or you're trying to convince people that they need to make a shift. And instead of trying to convince people, simply just see who is open. Because if they're not open, they're probably not going to be a good fit to be one of your customers, or going to be a good fit to be one of your partners in business. I've found that the people that I've had to convince are most likely going to end up quitting in the next 30, 60, 90 days. And so it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of their time. It's a waste of their money. And then there's this relationship, if it's a friend of yours or a family member, then the relationship kind of gets put at risk because you convinced this person to join when at first they didn't want to. And now they've lost their money, and now there's a little strain on their relationship, or a big strain on their relationship. You just simply don't want that to happen. So instead of convincing people, because convincing people takes time, you can talk to someone on the phone for 20 or 30 minutes or even an hour trying to explain, oh, this is a great opportunity, or this is a great product, or it's a great service, when in the beginning they weren't even open in the first place. They kind of joined because you kind of nagged them to death. Right? And even the chances of you nagging them into joining are very, very small. And even if they join once again, they're going to end up quitting anyway. So you spend all this time on this prospect that turned into a customer or to a business partner, and they end up quitting. So to get more sales and signups, stop convincing, just see who's open. And when they're open, then you can continue the conversation and talk about how, awesome your product, service, the opportunity is. But if they're not open, then you get to move on. The beautiful thing about seeing if they're open is that if they aren't open, you get to talk to the next person. You get to talk to more people, right? You do not want to spend any more time than needed to someone who isn't open. Once you find out they're not open, just talk to the next person, and that makes it easier to talk to more people. I remember when I first started in this profession, it took me months and months and months to ultimately figure that out, because I would literally spend so much time either on the phone or in person trying to convince someone how awesome my product is, the opportunity is, the service is, and they wouldn't end up joining. And so during that time that I was trying to prospect, I spent 20 minutes on the phone with someone. I could have talked to 5, maybe 10 people, depending on how fast I was able to prospect at that time. And so instead of trying to convince people, once again, see if they're open. If they're open, continue with the conversation. But if they're not open, move along. So tip number 1, talk to more people. Tip number 2, stop convincing and just see who is open. You may recognize this as just say less to more people. The more people is basically the more shots you take, the more shots you're going to get. And then saying less is seeing who's open. Again, if they're not open, move along. If they are open, certainly continue the conversation, because those that are open, they're more likely to be a fit. Those that are open, they're more likely that if they join or become a customer, they don't end up stopping, being a customer or quitting or anything like that after a while. And so I trust that you got some good value out of this, and I hope that you really do this, because now there's some people that are desperate. They are looking for an opportunity. And so those people that are looking for an opportunity, you just may be the one to assist them. But if you approach someone and they're not really looking for an opportunity, maybe they're working from home, with their job, or maybe they're enjoying, some unemployment benefits. Those that are enjoying those unemployment benefits, they may not be your proper prospect anyway. Those are people that want something for nothing. You don't I don't want to categorize them as they're all lazy or anything like that, but if they're in that state of mind where they want something for nothing, they're not in the state of mind to grow a business, to join a business, and to work in a business. So again, talk to more people, and then make it easier on yourself to talking to more people. Just see who's open, and if they're not open, they're not a good fit. You get to disqualify them if they're not a good fit. All right. So again, trust you got some great value out of this. If you want to see more videos or hear more audios like this, go over to my blog. It's kennysantos.com. You even have a chance to put your name and email in and get a great audio in growing your business. And remember this, every day, multiple times a day, the universe sends us miracles. We only have to do 2 things about that. We got to recognize those miracles. And of course, we get to accept those miracles. All right. Take care and create a great day.